morning, everybody. I hope you've had a great 4th of July weekend. I am going into the garden. I haven't been in here for a little bit because of the long holiday weekend, but I've noticed my tomato plants have kind of taken off. So I'm going to tie them up to give them some support, and then I will show you guys how I do that and how they look afterwards. So here we go. Oh no! A little twig fell on top of my tomato plants. We had a pretty rough storm. And luckily for us, we had some branches fall and that was about it, but other people were not so lucky. But okay, so here are our tomato plants. Whenever I first set that up, I started with just a couple stringers because they were kind of tall enough to have the string across. And I have not done any string since. So all I'm gonna do is tie the string, and a lot of people will zigzag through the plants. These are probably too big to do that, we'll see. But I'm gonna run a string from one side to the other, pulling up the plants as I go. So this is what it looks like before, and I'll show you after a few strings what it looks like about halfway through and then after. Well, this did not work. These are so heavy and big. Like, it's gonna work over here most likely, and I'll do that. But these ones are so large and I waited so long that I think I'm gonna have to individually tie them up. So I did a string across the top and do them kind of like my zucchini. So that's what I'm gonna do. So I'll show you what it looks like if that works. Okay, so yes, I was right. Doing the twine here worked really good for this one. It's keeping everything in and standing up. Now, of course, as it gets taller, I'm gonna have to add more string, but for now it's doing pretty good. I wish I had plant clips. I make clips so that you can it'd be easier to attach them, but if your plants aren't massive, this is a good method to doing them. Okay, so this turned out great. Doing it on this side. I ran out of string. Would like to get one. You see how I kind of crossed it? I went low and then up high, so I'm missing some plants down here. I would love to go the opposite direction. So I'd love to go high here and then cross down low so it kind of X's and it just holds these up better. But let me walk you down. The plants are all standing, which is great. It's holding them up. So this section worked. Unfortunately, the section over here did not work as intended. Like I said, these were much larger. These were my first batch that I planted. So what I had to do over here was I started to crisscross, realized it was way too heavy. It was starting to snap some of the tomatoes. So I actually ran this line from the top over here. And then after running this line, I came over to the biggest plants, which are on this side, and I tied them up from there to there. So it's pulled all the plants up. They actually look pretty good. I know it kind of looks jumbled on the video. I do need some more string because I would like to secure them and tie up a little bit more, like right in here. I'd love to get them up a little bit better, but it's pulling all the fruit off the ground. It's making it so that I can pick them. Last year unfortunately, I decided, I'm gonna take my tomatoes and I'm gonna plant them on the trampoline mat, which, if you guys didn't know, that's what this is. Best weed barrier in the world. And then after I planted them on the trampoline mat, they grew crazy. I tried to tie them up on posts. The posts snapped because they were wooden. And even then they were going so far out that I kept stepping on them. Sorry, let me restart this. My kiddo was upset because he couldn't play with the chickens right now because they're trying to drink water. So this is a trampoline mat, and I use it. We had a little microburst come through. It crumbled up our trampoline, and I decided to use it as a weed barrier. And I have used this mat for 4 years. And it works perfectly. I actually just got another one given to me. I'm super excited to figure out where I'm going to use that. But I tried to do the tomatoes over here. It was horrible. I had them way too close together. I could pick tomatoes on the outer ring, but there was really no way for me to get into the center and pick the tomatoes. And I like to bunch a lot of plants together, which I know people are going to come for me on that. You have to have so much spacing. I don't care. I grow food for my family and that's it. And it makes me happy. And this is all trial and error for me. But so this year, tomatoes are in a row with strings holding them up. I've been doing a wonderful job at it. Obviously, you can tell with that cluster over there. And this year I did the squash, obviously on the trampoline mat. But yeah, if you ever get a trampoline mat and you just have a used one, it works really well as a weed barrier. And even if you don't want it for food, if you're worried about it being plastic or whatever, eventually we're going to get away from that too. I want to get more organic ground cover for everything. Then this will actually get moved from food use to, I want to start a flower garden to bring in more pollinators and things like that. So that's what will happen with this mat. And it's so easy. I just have it pinned down with pins around. I literally will grab the mat, yank it up, and it pulls the pins up and everything and drag it to my next location. This has moved locations every single year. I kept expanding the kids' play area and moving it over further. So we have a very long play area / garden. But yeah, so that's what I did. I am happy with the setup this year going forward. I would love to get the strings work. The problem is as they weigh down, you have to continuously tie them up. They start to droop. If you can do cattle panels instead they make clips that clip to the panels, that's what I would suggest. My goal this year was to do an 100% free garden. I had loads of seeds from years prior. I had all this weed barrier from building the play area years prior. The mat, every single thing in my garden this year was free. I even had all these T-posts just chilling up by the house. So that was my goal, was to see how well I can maintain and make a garden without spending any money. I didn't even buy dirt. We either harvest the soil from different areas or use spent potted plants, and added like coffee grounds and, stuff to fertilize them. But that is what we've done with this garden so far this year. So I'll try to keep you guys updated, give you a little peek at my corn. This is where I had weeded a couple weeks ago. And the corn is actually doing really good. Grass is growing back, but it's way thinner than it was. And I haven't weeded it since I posted that video, or since I made that video. Because sometimes these get posted a little bit further back. 3 kids, lots of fun. But yeah, so I would definitely recommend, so far, that might change, tying up your tomato plants probably a little earlier than I did. Probably whenever they're about this size. This seemed to be way more manageable. I ran out of string, so these will get tied up. But tie them up. If you can do cattle panels, do it. If not, use string like I did. I had a bunch. And you don't have to have a lot of money to have a big garden. Honestly, there's online resources where you can get free seeds. I've used them before. I'm trying to remember. I don't know if it's through Missouri Conservation, or I'll try to look it up if I can figure it out, because I've ordered them before and gotten free seeds for things. And if not, whenever you buy produce at the store, some of these seeds came from that. Whenever I shop, I buy organic produce, and I will pull the seeds out of like my peppers, sometimes even tomatoes. Like we had this bin over here is our compost from last year, and I went to dump it. I pulled off like some of the top stuff, and we have tomato plants, and I don't know what this is. Tomato plants and mystery plant. I would think cucumber, but I didn't grow any cucumber last year, and we're not big cucumber eaters, minus the fact that we have a giant cucumber trellis over here. So yeah, utilize what you have. Do the best with what you can. I know people who do great gardens in buckets. I know people who just dig holes in the ground. That's what I do. I didn't till not one bit of this. I laid down ground cover and it worked out perfectly for me. I've done this ground cover before. I've done boxes, cement boxes. Do whatever you need to make it work. But yeah, that's my garden update for this week, and I hope you guys all, like I said, had a great 4th of July. Sorry if I was rambling some. The kids have been excitable, so I've been easily distracted. And we're gonna hop off here, and I'm gonna start picking some plants, and I'll post what my harvest is as well, and just hope that you guys all enjoy yourself. Have a great rest of your week.